Prince Elias, with his golden hair and determined blue eyes, has always felt a deep connection to the sea. The legends of a hidden kingdom beneath the waves have fascinated him since childhood. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Elias discovered a mysterious seashell that spoke to him of an underwater realm in peril and a destiny that awaited him. As you listen, let your mind drift to the serene beaches of Seabourn, where the whispers of the seashell guide Elias on a journey filled with ancient magic, enchanting creatures and heroic challenges. Feel the magic of the ocean envelop you, bringing peace and calm to your mind and body. Now, snuggle into your bed, take a deep breath, and let the story of Prince Elias and the whispering seashells carry you to a world of dreams and adventure. Sweet dreams, dear listener. Chapter 1. The Prince's Discovery. Prince Elias always felt a special connection to the ocean. The coastal kingdom of Seabourn, where he was born and raised, had legends of its own. A kingdom beneath the waves, hidden from mortal eyes, where magic flowed as freely as the tides. From a young age, Elias was drawn to the sea's mysteries, often wandering the shoreline for hours, lost in thought. One warm summer evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky with the hues of orange and pink, Elias walked along the beach. The gentle rhythm of the waves against the shore was a soothing melody that calmed his restless spirit. It was then, amid the whispering breeze and the lull of the ocean, that he heard something unusual. At first, it was a faint murmur, almost indistinguishable from the sound of the sea. But as he listened more intently, he realized it was a voice, a whisper that seemed to call out to him. Intrigued and a little startled, Elias followed the sound, his feet sinking into the soft, cool sand as he walked. The whisper led him to a secluded part of the beach, where rocks jutted out into the water, creating small hidden pools. There, half buried in the sand, lay a beautiful seashell, shimmering in the twilight. Its iridescent surface glowed with an otherworldly light, and as Elias picked it up, the whispering grew louder, forming coherent words that only he could hear. "Prince Elias, hear our plea," the seashell seemed to say. "A kingdom beneath the waves is in peril, and only you can save it." Elias's heart raced. He had heard tales of enchanted seashells, relics of ancient magic that carried messages from the sea. But he had never encountered one himself. The shell was warm in his hand, pulsing with a gentle energy that filled him with a sense of urgency and purpose. He held the shell close to his ear, and the voice continued. "The underwater kingdom of Aquaria is threatened by a dark curse. You, Prince Elias, are destined to break this curse and restore peace to our realm. Listen to our guidance, and we will lead you to the path of salvation." Elias knew this was no ordinary event. The ocean had chosen him for a reason, and he could not ignore its call. Determined to uncover the truth and help those in need, he decided to embark on the journey the seashell spoke of. He hurried back to the palace, his mind racing with thoughts of what lay ahead. That night, as the stars twinkled above and the waves continued their eternal dance, Elias prepared for his journey. He packed a small bag with essentials: a sturdy rope, a knife, provisions for the trip, and a waterproof map of the coastline. He also took a small, carved wooden box, a gift from his mother, which he believed might hold some magical properties of its own. Before dawn, he returned to the beach. The seashell, still glowing softly, seemed to guide him toward a hidden cove where his small boat awaited. As he sailed beyond the horizon, the seashell's whispers filled the air, providing comfort and direction. The adventure had begun, and Prince Elias felt a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Little did he know, his journey would lead him to places and experiences beyond his wildest dreams. As the first light of dawn painted the sky in soft pastels, Prince Elias sailed into the vast expanse of the ocean, his small boat gliding smoothly over the gentle waves. The seashell, nestled safely in his pocket, seemed to hum with a soft, melodic vibration. Every now and then, he would take it out, hold it to his ear, and listen to its whispers. "Elias, you must understand the power you hold," the seashell began. "I am not merely a shell, but a vessel of ancient magic, created by the sea elders to communicate with the surface world. The kingdom of Aquaria was once a place of great beauty and harmony, governed by wise and benevolent rulers. But a dark curse has fallen upon it, cast by a vengeful sea witch named Morvenna. She has imprisoned the true queen and spread fear among the inhabitants." Elias felt a pang of sympathy for the underwater kingdom and its people. "How can I, a mere prince, break such a powerful curse?" "The curse can be broken by finding the pearl of Lumina," the seashell replied. "This pearl is hidden in the deepest part of the ocean, guarded by ancient creatures and powerful spells. It is your destiny to find it and restore balance to Aquaria." Elias nodded, determined to fulfill his role. He glanced at the horizon, where the sun was now fully risen, casting a golden path over the water. "Where do I begin?" he asked. "Follow my guidance," the seashell said. "First, you must reach the hidden cove of the ancients. There you will find an entrance to the underwater world and meet those who can aid you on your quest." As Elias continued his journey, the seashell shared stories of Aquaria's past, its vibrant cities, and its kind-hearted queen, Marina. These tales filled Elias with a sense of purpose and a desire to see the kingdom restored to its former glory. After hours of sailing, the seashell guided him to a secluded cove, surrounded by tall cliffs covered in lush greenery. The water here was exceptionally clear, and Elias could see schools of colourful fish darting among the rocks below. He anchored his boat and took a moment to appreciate the serene beauty of the place. The seashells' whispers grew more urgent. Dive into the water, Elias. The entrance to Aquaria lies beneath the surface. Taking a deep breath, Elias donned his diving gear and slipped into the cool, inviting water. The seashell's glow illuminated his path as he swam deeper, revealing a hidden tunnel leading into the heart of the underwater world. As he ventured further, the light from the surface faded, replaced by the enchanting glow of bioluminescent plants and creatures that lined the tunnel walls. Emerging from the tunnel, Elias found himself in a breathtaking underwater landscape. Towering coral structures and vibrant marine life surrounded him, creating a kaleidoscope of colors and shapes. The beauty of the underwater realm was beyond anything he had ever imagined. But there was no time to lose. Guided by the seashell, Elias swam toward a grand, ancient-looking structure adorned with intricate carvings and symbols. It was the entrance to the Temple of the Ancients, where Morella, the guardian of the ocean, awaited him. With each stroke, Elias felt the weight of his mission. The underwater kingdom's fate rested in his hands, and he was determined to succeed. As he approached the temple, the seashell's whispers grew louder, filling him with a sense of anticipation and resolve. Elias felt a mixture of awe and trepidation as he swam toward the Temple of the Ancients. The grandeur of the underwater world was beyond anything he had imagined. The corals formed magnificent arches and spires, creating an otherworldly cityscape teeming with life. Schools of fish, their scales shimmering in the light of the bioluminescent plants, swam alongside him as if guiding his way. The seashell's whispers were now a steady stream of encouragement and guidance. Elias, remember that the strength to overcome the challenges ahead lies within you. Trust in the power of the seashell and in your own courage. As he approached the temple, Elias noticed a figure waiting at the entrance. It was Morella, the guardian of the ocean. She was a tall, graceful being with flowing hair that seemed to merge with the surrounding water. Her eyes, a deep shade of blue, held a wisdom that spoke of centuries spent watching over Aquaria. "Welcome, Prince Elias," Morella said, her voice echoing softly through the water. "I have been expecting you." Elias bowed respectfully. "Guardian Morella, I have come to seek your guidance and aid. The seashell has told me of the plight of Aquaria and my role in saving it." Morella nodded, a faint smile gracing her lips. "You are brave to have undertaken this journey. The path ahead is fraught with peril, but with the right allies and a steadfast heart, you can succeed." She led Elias into the temple, where the walls were adorned with ancient carvings depicting the history of Aquaria. They stopped before a large mural that showed the kingdom in its former glory, a place of harmony and prosperity. Long ago, Aquaria was a beacon of peace. Morella explained. But Morvena, a sea witch consumed by jealousy and darkness, cast a curse that has brought suffering to our realm. The true queen, Marina, has been imprisoned, and her subjects live in fear. Elias listened intently, his resolve strengthening with each word. I am ready to do whatever it takes to break this curse and restore Aquaria. Morella's eyes shone with approval. To find the Pearl of Lumina, you must first locate 3 enchanted stones, hidden throughout the kingdom. Each stone is protected by powerful guardians and intricate traps. Once you have all 3, they will guide you to the pearl. Elias nodded, understanding the gravity of his task. Where do I begin? Morella handed him a small, intricately designed amulet. This amulet will help you navigate the waters and reveal hidden paths. The first stone lies within the Cavern of Echoes, a place of haunting beauty and great danger. Follow the currents north until you reach a dark chasm. The cavern lies beyond. Elias thanked Morella and set off, the amulet glowing softly as it pointed him in the right direction. The journey to the Cavern of Echoes was challenging. Strong currents and narrow passages tested his strength and resolve. Yet, with each stroke, Elias felt more attuned to the underwater world, his movements becoming more fluid and confident. After several hours of swimming, he reached the dark chasm Morella had described. Taking a deep breath, he plunged into the abyss. The temperature dropped, and the light from the surface faded, replaced by an eerie glow emanating from the cavern walls. Inside, the Cavern of Echoes lived up to its name. Every sound, from the beating of Elias's heart to the faint rustle of water, echoed endlessly. The walls were covered in crystalline formations that reflected light in dazzling patterns. As he ventured deeper, Elias felt a presence. A guardian, as Morella had warned. He steeled himself, ready to face whatever challenge lay ahead. The first enchanted stone awaited, and with it, the first step towards saving Aquaria. Elias swam deeper into the Cavern of Echoes, his senses heightened by the eerie stillness around him. The crystalline formations glittered like 1,000 stars, casting ethereal reflections on the cavern walls. The air felt heavy with ancient magic, and Elias could almost hear the whispers of long-forgotten secrets carried by the currents. As he moved forward, the amulet around his neck began to glow brighter, guiding him through the labyrinthine passages. The seashells' whispers were now a constant presence, offering comfort and advice. Trust your instincts, Elias. The first enchanted stone lies at the heart of the cavern, guarded by an ancient creature known as the Echo Serpent. Elias's heart raced at the thought of facing such a formidable guardian. He tightened his grip on the knife he carried, though he hoped he wouldn't have to use it. The walls of the cavern seemed to close in around him, the echoes growing louder and more disorienting with each step. Suddenly, the passage widened into a vast chamber. At its center, bathed in a pool of shimmering light, was the first enchanted stone. It was a large, multifaceted gem that pulsed with a soft blue glow. Elias took a cautious step forward, but before he could reach the stone, the water around him began to swirl violently. From the depths of the pool emerged the echo serpent. Its long, sinuous body was covered in iridescent scales that reflected the light in dazzling patterns. Its eyes, cold and unblinking, fixed on Elias with an intensity that sent shivers down his spine. The serpent's presence was both majestic and terrifying, its movements fluid and hypnotic. "Who dares to enter my domain?" the echo serpent hissed, its voice reverberating through the cavern. Elias stood his ground, drawing strength from the seashell's whispers. "I am Prince Elias of Seaborn. I seek the enchanted stones to break the curse on Aquaria." The serpent's eyes narrowed, and it circled around him, its body creating ripples in the water. "Many have tried and failed. What makes you believe you are worthy?" Elias took a deep breath, meeting the serpent's gaze with unwavering resolve. "I am guided by the seashell and the guardian of the ocean. I am determined to restore peace to your kingdom." The echo serpent paused, considering his words. "Very well," it said finally. "But to claim the stone, you must prove your worthiness. Answer this riddle, and the stone shall be yours." Elias nodded, his mind racing. The serpent's voice echoed throughout the chamber as it spoke. "I am not alive, but I grow. I do not have lungs, but I need air. I do not have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" Elias thought for a moment, his brow furrowed in concentration. He replayed the riddle in his mind, dissecting each line. Suddenly, the answer came to him, clear and unmistakable. "Fire," he said confidently. "The answer is fire." The echo serpent's eyes gleamed with approval. "Correct, Prince Elias. You have proven your worthiness." The serpent slithered aside, revealing the enchanted stone. Elias stepped forward and carefully lifted it from its pedestal. The stone felt warm in his hand, its power resonating through him. "You have passed the first trial," the serpent said. "But the journey ahead is long and perilous. Take this stone and continue your quest. May the currents guide you." Elias thanked the echo serpent and turned to leave the cavern. As he swam back through the labyrinthine passages, the seashell's whispers grew more encouraging. "Well done, Elias. With the first stone in hand, you are one step closer to breaking the curse, emerging from the cavern of echoes." Elias felt a renewed sense of purpose. He knew the challenges ahead would be daunting, but he was ready to face them. With the enchanted stone safely tucked away, he set his sights on the next part of his journey. With the first enchanted stone securely stowed in his pouch, Elias swam back through the clear waters, guided by the soft glow of his amulet. The journey through the cavern of echoes had tested his resolve, but he emerged stronger and more determined than ever. The seashell's whispers filled him with encouragement as he made his way toward the next destination. Following Morella's instructions, Elias swam north, the waters around him growing darker and more mysterious. The underwater landscape shifted from vibrant coral reefs to towering kelp forests that swayed gently with the currents. Strange and beautiful creatures peeked out from the dense foliage, their bioluminescent bodies casting an otherworldly glow. After several hours of swimming, Elias finally reached the outskirts of the Guardian's domain. The waters here were calm and serene, a stark contrast to the treacherous depths he had traversed. As he approached the grand entrance of the Temple of the Ancients, Morella appeared once again, her presence as graceful and commanding as before. "Welcome back, Elias." Morella greeted him with a warm smile. "I see you have successfully obtained the first enchanted stone. Your journey has only just begun, but you are proving yourself to be a true hero." Elias bowed respectfully. "Thank you, Morella. Your guidance has been invaluable. What must I do next?" Morella gestured for him to follow her into the temple. Inside, the walls were adorned with intricate carvings that depicted the history of Aquaria and the powerful magic that protected it. They walked through a grand hall filled with shimmering seashells, each one telling a different story of the ocean's past. "The next stone lies within the sunken gardens," Morella explained as they walked. "It is a place of great beauty, but also great danger. The gardens are protected by the coral sentinels, ancient guardians who will test your worthiness. You must tread carefully and use your wits to overcome their challenges." Elias nodded, taking in the details of her instructions. "I understand. How do I find the sunken gardens?" Morella handed him a small, intricately carved compass. "This compass will guide you. Follow its needle, and it will lead you to the gardens. Remember, the enchanted stones are powerful, but they also attract those who seek to misuse their magic. Stay vigilant." With Morella's parting words echoing in his mind, Elias set off once more, the compass guiding him through the vast underwater expanse. The journey to the sunken gardens was filled with awe-inspiring sights and creatures. Schools of fish danced around him in intricate patterns, and majestic sea turtles glided gracefully through the water. As he swam, Elias couldn't help but marvel at the wonders of the ocean. The beauty and diversity of life beneath the waves filled him with a deep sense of purpose. He was determined to save this magical world and restore peace to Aquaria. After several days of travel, Elias finally arrived at the sunken gardens. The entrance was marked by two towering coral pillars, their surfaces covered in delicate, glowing flowers. He could feel the presence of the coral sentinels, ancient beings who watched over the gardens with unwavering vigilance. Taking a deep breath, Elias entered the gardens. The water here was infused with a warm, golden light, and the flora and fauna were more vibrant and enchanting than anywhere else he had seen. He followed the compass, weaving through the lush, labyrinthine pathways, his senses alert for any sign of danger. Suddenly, a voice resonated through the water, deep and resonant. "Who enters the sunken gardens?" Elias paused, looking around for the source of the voice. Emerging from the coral structures were the coral sentinels, their forms majestic and imposing. They were made entirely of living coral, their eyes glowing with ancient wisdom. "I am Prince Elias of Seaborn," he declared, standing tall. "I seek the second enchanted stone to break the curse on Aquaria." The sentinels regarded him with solemn eyes. "To claim the stone, you must prove your wisdom and courage. Only then will you be deemed worthy." Elias nodded, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The journey through the sunken gardens would test him in ways he had not yet imagined, but he was prepared to rise to the occasion. The coral sentinels moved aside, allowing Elias to enter deeper into the sunken gardens. Each step felt like a journey through a dream. The vibrant colors and the gentle sway of the underwater flora creating an enchanting spectacle. The compass Morella had given him pointed steadily forward, guiding him through the labyrinthine paths. As he ventured further, Elias remained alert for any signs of danger. The beauty of the gardens was a stark contrast to the challenges he had faced, but he knew that appearances could be deceiving. The coral sentinels had warned him that wisdom and courage would be tested here, and he was ready. Suddenly, a burst of laughter echoed through the water, light and carefree. Elias turned to see a dolphin swimming playfully among the corals, its sleek silver body catching the light. The dolphin approached him, eyes twinkling with mischief and curiosity. "Hello there," the dolphin greeted, its voice clear in Elias's mind. "I don't see many humans down here. What brings you to the sunken gardens?" Elias smiled, charmed by the dolphin's friendly demeanor. "I am Prince Elias, and I seek the second enchanted stone to break the curse on Aquaria. Who are you?" The dolphin did a graceful flip in the water before introducing itself. "I'm Finn. I've lived here all my life, and I know every nook and cranny of these gardens. If you need help, I'm your dolphin." Elias was grateful for the offer. "Thank you, Finn. Your guidance would be invaluable. The gardens are beautiful, but I know they can also be dangerous." Finn nodded, a serious look crossing his playful features. "You're right about that. The coral sentinels are protective of this place, and there are traps and puzzles that test those who seek the stone. But don't worry, I'll help you navigate through them." Together, Elias and Finn swam deeper into the gardens. The dolphin's knowledge of the area proved to be immensely helpful. Finn pointed out hidden pathways and warned Elias of potential traps. They encountered several puzzles along the way, which required Elias to use both his intellect and bravery to solve. One such puzzle involved a series of ancient runes carved into a coral wall. The runes glowed with a mysterious light, and Finn explained that they needed to be activated in a specific order to open the path ahead. Elias studied the runes carefully, recalling the stories and symbols he had learned from the Seashells' whispers. After a moment of contemplation, he touched the runes in the correct sequence. The wall shimmered and dissolved, revealing a hidden passage. Finn squeaked in delight, and they continued their journey, overcoming each obstacle with determination and teamwork. As they ventured deeper, the waters grew warmer and more serene. They arrived at a secluded glade within the gardens, where a magnificent coral tree stood. At the base of the tree, nestled among its roots, was the second enchanted stone. Its radiant green glow cast a gentle light over the surroundings. Elias approached the stone with reverence, reaching out to claim it. As his fingers closed around the gem, he felt a surge of energy, similar to what he had experienced with the first stone. The power of the stone resonated within him, filling him with a sense of accomplishment and hope. "You've done it, Elias," Finn cheered, swimming circles around him. "With 2 stones in hand, you're halfway to breaking the curse." Elias smiled, feeling a deep sense of gratitude for his new friend. "Thank you, Finn. I couldn't have done it without your help. Will you continue to accompany me on this journey?" Finn nodded enthusiastically. "Of course. We make a great team. And besides, there's nothing more exciting than a grand adventure." With the second enchanted stone secured and Finn by his side, Elias felt more confident than ever. The path ahead would undoubtedly be filled with more challenges, but he knew he had the strength and support to overcome them. As they left the sunken gardens, the compass once again guided them toward their next destination. The whispers of the seashell filling the waters with promises of hope and restoration. Chapter 2. The Underwater Kingdom. The journey to the Coral Palace was a wondrous and challenging expedition. Elias, with Finn by his side, navigated through a series of underwater landscapes that seemed to come straight from the pages of a fairy tale. They swam through kelp forests, where towering seaweed swayed like trees in the wind, and across vast sunlit plains, where schools of fish formed living tapestries of colour. Morella had rejoined them, her presence a comforting beacon in the vast ocean. Her knowledge and wisdom were invaluable as they approached the heart of the underwater kingdom. The sea spirit's serene demeanour and gentle guidance bolstered Elias's determination. As they neared the Coral Palace, the water around them began to change. The light grew softer, filtered through layers of delicate coral formations that rose like ancient spires from the ocean floor. The palace itself slowly came into view, a breathtaking structure of iridescent coral and shimmering pearls, each tower and archway a testament to the artistry and magic of the underwater realm. Elias paused, taking in the sight. "It's more beautiful than I ever imagined," he said, awe evident in his voice. Morella nodded, her eyes reflecting the palace's glow. "The Coral Palace is the heart of Aquaria. It was once a place of joy and laughter, but now it stands as a reminder of the curse that plagues our kingdom." As they swam closer, the grandeur of the palace became more apparent. Intricate carvings adorned every surface, depicting scenes of harmony and prosperity from a time before the curse. The main entrance was flanked by two enormous coral statues, guardians that had stood watch for centuries. Finn darted ahead, his playful nature momentarily subdued by the solemnity of the place. "Come on, Elias, let's see what's inside." With Morella leading the way, they entered the Coral Palace. The interior was just as magnificent as the exterior, with vast halls filled with the soft glow of bioluminescent plants and the gentle murmur of flowing water. It was as if the palace itself was alive, breathing and pulsing with a quiet energy. In the center of the main hall stood a grand staircase that spiraled upward, its steps made of translucent, glowing coral. At the top, a large, ornate door beckoned them forward. Morella gestured for Elias to follow, and they ascended the staircase together. Behind the door, they found a vast chamber filled with hundreds of whispering seashells, each one placed carefully on pedestals of polished pearl. The room hummed with a gentle symphony of whispers, a chorus of voices from the past and present. Elias approached one of the seashells and held it to his ear. The voice within spoke of the kingdom's glory days, of Queen Marina's wisdom and kindness, and of the darkness that had fallen upon Aquaria with Morvina's curse. He felt a deep sadness for the people of this underwater realm and a renewed determination to help them. Morella watched him with a solemn expression. These seashells contain the memories and knowledge of our ancestors. They will guide you on your quest and reveal the truths you need to know. Elias nodded, feeling the weight of his responsibility. "I will do everything in my power to save Aquaria and free Queen Marina." As he listened to more seashells, the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. He learned of the locations of the remaining enchanted stones and the challenges that awaited him. Each seashell added a layer of understanding and strategy to his mission. Finn, too, listened intently, his usually playful demeanor replaced by a focused determination. "We're in this together, Elias," he said firmly. "We'll find those stones and break this curse." With newfound knowledge and unwavering resolve, Elias and his companions prepared to face the next stage of their journey. The Coral Palace with its whispering seashells and hidden secrets, had armed them with the information they needed. The path ahead was fraught with danger, but they were ready to confront whatever challenges lay in wait. As Elias continued to listen to the whispering seashells, he felt the weight of their collective knowledge pressing upon him. Each shell held a fragment of Aquaria's history, a piece of the puzzle that would help him understand the true nature of the curse and the steps needed to break it. Morella guided him to a particularly large and ornate shell, set upon a pedestal of purest white coral. "This seashell," she said softly, "contains the memories of Queen Marina herself. Listen well, for her words will reveal much." Elias held the shell to his ear, and a gentle melodic voice began to speak. "I am Marina, Queen of Aquaria. Our kingdom was once a beacon of light and harmony, where all sea creatures lived in peace. But jealousy and darkness found their way into our realm through Morvana, a powerful sea witch. She coveted our prosperity and sought to rule in my stead." The voice paused, filled with sorrow. "Morvana cast a terrible curse upon Aquaria, imprisoning me within the depths of the Coral Palace and spreading fear among my people. Only the Pearl of Lumina, a relic of immense power, can break the curse and restore balance. To find it, you must seek the 3 enchanted stones and unlock the path to the Pearl's resting place." Elias felt a pang of empathy for Queen Marina and a surge of determination to help her. "I have already found 2 of the enchanted stones," he said, "but I need to find the 3rd and uncover the Pearl's location." Morella nodded approvingly. "You have done well, Elias. The 3rd stone lies within the Abyssal Trench, a place of great depth and danger. Few have ventured there and returned, but it is a necessary part of your journey." Finn, who had been listening quietly, swam forward. "We can do it, Elias. We've come this far, and we're not turning back now." Elias smiled at his friends, grateful for their unwavering support. "Together, we will succeed. Let's find the 3rd stone and bring an end to Morvana's curse." Morella led them to another section of the chamber, where a map of Aquaria was etched into the coral wall. She pointed to a dark, jagged line that represented the Abyssal Trench. "The trench is treacherous, but the compass and the amulet will guide you. Remember, the enchanted stones are drawn to each other. Use their power wisely." Elias took a deep breath, feeling the weight of his mission, but also the strength of his companions by his side. With the compass and amulet in hand, he was ready to face the challenges ahead. As they swam away from the Coral Palace, Elias felt a renewed sense of purpose. The whispers of the seashells echoed in his mind, their ancient wisdom a guiding light in the darkness. The journey to the Abyssal Trench would be perilous, but he knew they were prepared. The waters around them grew darker and colder as they descended into the trench. Strange and eerie creatures lurked in the shadows. their eyes glowing with a malevolent light. The pressure increased, pressing against their bodies and testing their endurance. But Elias, Finn, and Morella pressed on, driven by their shared goal. At the trench's deepest point, they found a hidden grotto where the third enchanted stone lay nestled among the rocks. Its vibrant red glow illuminated the surrounding darkness, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Elias reached out and grasped the stone, feeling its warmth and power surge through him. As he secured the third stone, the amulet around his neck pulsed with a bright golden light. The three stones resonated with each other, their combined energy pointing the way to the Pearl of Lumina. Morella's eyes shone with pride. "You have done it, Elias. The path to the Pearl of Lumina is now open. The final part of your journey awaits." With the three enchanted stones in his possession, Elias felt a renewed sense of hope and determination. They were one step closer to breaking the curse and restoring peace to Aquaria. The journey ahead would be filled with trials, but he knew that together they could overcome any obstacle. As Elias, Morella, and Finn ascended from the depths of the abyssal trench, the third enchanted stone glowing warmly in Elias's grasp, a sense of achievement washed over them. They had faced great peril and emerged victorious. The amulet around Elias's neck pulsed with an even brighter light, guiding them toward their next destination. "We're close," Morella said, her voice filled with a mix of hope and urgency. "But before we proceed to find the Pearl of Lumina, you must understand the full extent of Morvena's curse." Elias nodded, eager to learn more about the enemy they were up against. They swam back to the Coral Palace, where Morella led them to a secluded chamber deep within the palace. This room was unlike any other they had seen. Its walls were lined with ancient scrolls and mystical artifacts that seemed to hum with magical energy. Morella gestured for Elias to sit before a large, intricately carved basin filled with shimmering water. "This is the pool of memories," she explained. "It holds the collective memories and visions of Aquaria's past. Through it, you will see the events that led to Morvena's curse and understand the true plight of Queen Marina." Elias leaned over the basin, peering into its depths. Morella waved her hand over the water, and it began to swirl, forming images that came to life with astonishing clarity. The first vision showed Aquaria in its prime, a bustling, vibrant kingdom where sea creatures of all kinds lived in harmony. Queen Marina was at the center of it all, her presence radiating warmth and kindness. Under her rule, Aquaria flourished and its people thrived. But then the vision shifted. A dark figure appeared, Morvena. Her eyes glowed with envy and malice as she watched the happiness of Aquaria from the shadows. She coveted the power and prosperity of the kingdom, desiring it for herself. Her jealousy grew, twisting her heart and mind until she could no longer contain her dark ambitions. Morvena's attack on Aquaria was swift and brutal. She unleashed dark magic that spread like a plague, turning the once beautiful kingdom into a place of fear and despair. The vision showed her confronting Queen Marina in a fierce battle of wills and magic. Despite Marina's strength and the loyalty of her subjects, Morvena's curse was too powerful to be completely thwarted. In a final desperate act, Queen Marina used the last of her strength to hide the pearl of Lumina and protect it with powerful enchantments. She knew that the pearl was the only hope for breaking Morvena's curse and restoring Aquaria to its former glory. The vision faded, and Elias found himself back in the chamber, the weight of what he had seen heavy on his shoulders. He looked at Morella, who watched him with a solemn expression. "Morvena's magic is insidious," Morella said softly. "It feeds on fear and despair, growing stronger with each passing day. Queen Marina sacrificed everything to protect the Pearl of Lumina, knowing that only someone with a pure heart and unyielding courage could retrieve it and break the curse." Elias clenched his fists, his resolve hardening. "We have to find the Pearl of Lumina. We can't let Morvena's darkness continue to spread." Finn, who had been uncharacteristically silent during the vision, nodded vigorously. "We're with you, Elias. Together, we can do this." Morella placed a hand on Elias's shoulder. "You have the strength and the heart to succeed, Elias. The final part of your journey will be the most difficult, but I have faith in you." With the full extent of Morvena's curse revealed and the plight of Queen Marina understood, Elias felt a renewed sense of purpose. The quest for the Pearl of Lumina awaited, and he knew that he and his companions were ready to face whatever trials lay ahead. The future of Aquaria depended on their success, and they would not falter. With the knowledge of Morvena's curse weighing heavily on their hearts, Elias, Morella, and Finn prepared to set out on the final leg of their journey. The 3 enchanted stones pulsed with a synchronized glow, their combined power pointing the way to the Pearl of Lumina. Morella, with a determined expression, led them through the grand halls of the Coral Palace one last time. "The path to the Pearl of Lumina is fraught with trials," she said. "But together, we can overcome any obstacle. Trust in yourselves and in each other." They swam out into the open ocean, following the light of the stones as it guided them toward their destination. The waters grew darker and more foreboding, the currents stronger and more erratic. Yet, with each stroke, Elias felt a deep sense of purpose. He was not just fighting for Aquaria, but for the countless lives touched by the kingdom's magic. After hours of swimming, they reached a narrow, winding canyon that cut through the ocean floor. The stone's light grew brighter, illuminating the entrance. Finn swam ahead, his agility and speed making him the perfect scout. "This way," he called back. his voice echoing in the tight space. As they navigated the twisting passages, Elias could feel the pressure of the deep ocean pressing in on them. Strange, eerie sounds echoed through the canyon, and the shadows seemed to move with a life of their own. Yet, with Finn's guidance and Morella's calm presence, they pressed on. At last, the canyon opened up into a vast underwater chamber. In the center of the chamber, resting on a pedestal of ancient stone, was the pearl of Lumina. Its radiant light filled the entire space, casting away the shadows and revealing the beauty of the coral formation that adorned the walls. Elias swam toward the pearl, but as he reached out to take it, a powerful barrier of magical energy stopped him. The stone's light flickered, and a deep, resonant voice filled the chamber. "Who dares to seek the pearl of Lumina?" the voice demanded. Elias stood his ground, his eyes fixed on the pearl. "I am Prince Elias of Seaborn. I seek the pearl to break the curse on Aquaria and restore peace to the kingdom." The voice laughed, a sound that echoed ominously through the chamber. "Many have tried and failed. To claim the pearl, you must prove your worthiness. Face the trials of the sea, and if you succeed, the pearl shall be yours." As the voice faded, the chamber began to change. The waters grew turbulent, and the coral formation shifted to form a series of intricate, ever-changing obstacles. Finn and Morella looked to Elias, their trust and confidence evident in their eyes. "We're with you, Elias," Finn said, determination shining in his gaze. Elias nodded, taking a deep breath. "Let's do this together." The first trial was one of agility and speed. They had to navigate through a maze of rapidly moving coral spires, their sharp edges a constant threat. Finn led the way, his natural grace and quick reflexes guiding them through the maze. Elias and Morella followed closely, their movements synchronized to avoid the deadly spikes. Next came a trial of strength and endurance. The currents grew stronger, pulling them toward a series of whirlpools that threatened to drag them into the depths. Elias used the enchanted stones to create a barrier against the force of the water, while Morella and Finn worked together to find a safe path through the turbulence. Finally, they faced a trial of wisdom and insight. Before them appeared a massive stone door covered in ancient runes. To open it, they had to solve a complex riddle that required their combined knowledge and intuition. Morella deciphered the symbols, Finn provided key insights, and Elias pieced together the final solution. With a mighty groan, the door opened, revealing the pearl of Lumina in all its glory. Elias reached out and took the pearl, feeling its warmth and power flow through him. The enchanted stones glowed brightly, the energy merging with the pearl's light. "We did it," Elias said, a smile spreading across his face. "The curse will be broken." As they swam back through the canyon, the pearl's light guiding their way, Elias felt a sense of triumph and hope. The final trial awaited. But with the pearl of Lumina in their grasp, they knew they had the power to restore Aquaria and defeat Morvena's darkness once and for all. With the pearl of Lumina in hand, Elias, Morella, and Finn set their sights on returning to the Coral Palace to break Morvena's curse. As they swam through the underwater canyon, they couldn't shake the feeling that the hardest part of their journey was still ahead. The waters around them grew darker, and the currents more violent, as if the ocean itself sensed the impending confrontation. Elias held the pearl close, its radiant light casting a protective aura around them. "Stay close," he said to Finn and Morella. "The pearl will guide us, but we must be ready for anything." Their path took them through treacherous waters, where whirlpools and jagged rocks created dangerous obstacles. The enchanted stones, now embedded in Elias's gauntlet, glowed with a reassuring light, helping to steady their course. Finn swam ahead, using his speed and agility to scout the way, while Morella's wisdom and calming presence kept them focused. As they navigated a particularly narrow passage, the water around them suddenly surged with immense force. A massive sea serpent, its scales dark as night and eyes glowing with malice, emerged from the depths. It coiled around them, its hiss echoing through the water like a storm. "You will not leave this place alive," the serpent snarled. "The pearl belongs to Morvena." Elias steeled himself, drawing strength from the enchanted stones. "We will not be stopped. The curse ends today." The serpent lunged at them with terrifying speed, but Finn darted in front of Elias, his sleek body a blur of silver. With a swift, powerful strike of his tail, Finn managed to divert the serpent's attack, giving Elias and Morella a crucial moment to react. Morella raised her hands, calling upon the ancient magic of the sea. A barrier of shimmering water formed around them, deflecting the serpent's next assault. Elias focused on the enchanted stones, channeling their power into the pearl of Lumina. A beam of pure, radiant light shot from the pearl, striking the serpent and forcing it to recoil in pain. The creature thrashed violently, but the combined strength of Elias, Morella, and Finn proved too much for it to withstand. With a final desperate roar, the serpent retreated into the darkness, leaving a trail of blood and broken scales in its wake. Elias, breathing heavily, looked to his companions. "Is everyone okay?" Finn nodded, though his playful demeanor was tinged with exhaustion. "We did it, Elias, but we have to keep moving. Morvena won't wait for us to catch our breath." They pressed on, the pearl's light guiding them through the last stretch of their journey. The Coral Palace soon came into view, its towers and spires gleaming with an otherworldly glow. The palace stood as a beacon of hope in the darkened waters. But Elias knew that Morvena's presence tainted its beauty. As they entered the grand hall, the atmosphere grew tense. The air crackled with dark magic, and shadows danced menacingly along the walls. At the far end of the hall stood Morvena, her form shrouded in a swirling vortex of black water. Her eyes glowed with a sinister light, and her voice was a chilling whisper that echoed through the chamber. "You dare to challenge me?" Morvena hissed. "Fools! The power of the pearl is nothing compared to the depths of my darkness." Elias stepped forward, holding the pearl of Lumina high. "Your reign of terror ends now, Morvena. For too long, you have brought suffering to Aquaria. We will restore peace and light to this kingdom." Morvena laughed, a sound that sent shivers down their spines. "You cannot comprehend the power I wield, but if you wish to face me, then so be it. Prepare to meet your doom." With a wave of her hand, Morvena unleashed a torrent of dark energy, the force of which shook the very foundations of the palace. Elias, Morella, and Finn braced themselves, their resolve unwavering. They knew that this final confrontation would test their strength, courage, and unity like never before. As the battle began, the pearl of Lumina shone with a brilliant light, pushing back the shadows and filling the hall with its radiant glow. The fate of Aquaria hung in the balance, and Elias knew that they had to succeed. For the kingdom, for Queen Marina, and for all those who had suffered under Morvena's curse, they would fight with everything they had. The battle in the grand hall of the Coral Palace was fierce and relentless. Morvena's dark magic clashed with the radiant light of the Pearl of Lumina, creating a maelstrom of energy that reverberated through the waters. Elias, Morella, and Finn fought with all their might, their determination unwavering in the face of the sea witch's fury. Morvena's attacks were relentless, her power amplified by the dark currents that swirled around her. She summoned shadowy tendrils that lashed out at Elias and his companions, each strike threatening to overwhelm them. But the Pearl of Lumina shone brightly in Elias's grasp, its light pushing back the darkness and giving them the strength to continue. "Hold fast," Morella called out, her voice steady despite the chaos. She wove protective spells that deflected Morvena's attacks, creating shields of shimmering water that absorbed the impact. Finn darted through the battlefield, using his speed and agility to distract and disorient their foe. Elias focused on the enchanted stones embedded in his gauntlet, channeling their power into the pearl. He knew that only by fully harnessing the combined magic of the stones and the pearl could they hope to defeat Morvena. With a deep breath, he called upon the ancient magic, feeling it surge through him like a tidal wave. The pearl responded to his call, its light intensifying until it became almost blinding. Morvena recoiled, her dark magic faltering in the face of such brilliance. "No!" she screamed, her voice filled with desperation and rage. "This cannot be." Elias stepped forward, his gaze locked on Morvena. "Your reign of terror ends now, he declared, his voice resolute. For Aquaria, and for all those you have harmed. With the final surge of energy, Elias directed the light of the pearl of Lumina toward Morvena. The beam of pure, radiant magic struck her with the force of a crashing wave, shattering her dark barrier and engulfing her in its glow. Morvena screamed, her form dissolving into the light as the curse she had cast began to unravel. The dark currents that had filled the palace dissipated, replaced by a calm, soothing energy. The shadows lifted, revealing the true beauty of the coral palace. The light of the pearl spread throughout the kingdom, touching every corner of Aquaria and breaking the curse that had plagued it for so long. As the last remnants of Morvena's magic faded, Elias felt a profound sense of relief and triumph. He turned to Morella and Finn, who stood by his side, their faces alight with joy. "We did it," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "The curse is broken." Morella smiled, her eyes glistening with tears of happiness. "You have restored peace to Aquaria, Elias. The kingdom will forever be in your debt." Finn leapt into the air, performing a joyful flip. "We knew you could do it, Elias. Aquaria is free at last." The waters around them began to shimmer with a golden light, and from the depths of the palace emerged Queen Marina. Freed from her imprisonment, she radiated a serene and powerful presence. Her eyes met Elias's, and she smiled, a gesture of gratitude and pride. "Prince Elias," Queen Marina said, her voice as melodic as the sea, "you have saved my kingdom and brought hope to my people. For your bravery and selflessness, I thank you from the depths of my heart." Elias bowed deeply, humbled by her words. "It was an honor, Your Majesty. I could not have done it without the help of Morella and Finn." Queen Marina nodded, her gaze encompassing all three of them. "Together, you have achieved what many thought impossible. Aquaria will flourish once more, and your names will be remembered for generations to come." As the golden light enveloped the palace, the people of Aquaria began to emerge from their homes, their faces filled with wonder and joy. The curse had lifted, and the kingdom was reborn. The once dark waters now sparkled with vibrant colors, and the creatures of the sea rejoiced in their newfound freedom.